Hey, thank you, Son. I'll just speak loud. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. Mr. Brook, thank you for piping our new council in. There's nothing says ceremony like a bag. It's phenomenal, and this ceremony this evening is very steeped in history. And I want to talk a little bit about that. But first of all, my name is Malcolm Morris. I'm the CAO for the town of Smith Falls. I want to welcome everyone here, friends and family of our new council members. Tonight's a very, very important evening because it marks a new beginning. And the town of Smith Falls is an old town. We've been around by North American standards for a long time, so we've had a lot of these swearing-in ceremonies. And each one is different, and each one welcomes a new group of people to represent the people of the community. And there's probably no more important undertaking in a democratic society than to represent the people in the community you live. So we certainly thank all the folks that ran for council, and a big congratulations to the folks here this evening that were successful. So I'm just going to talk about a few things, and then we'll get the ceremony underway officially. But I'd like to comment a little bit about the courage it takes to do what these 7 people have done. It not only takes courage, but it takes an incredible commitment to your community to invest, to run, put yourself out there. You're a little bit vulnerable when you're running for council, but at the end of the day, you've got a bigger goal in mind, and that bigger goal, of course, is the betterment of your community. And to be a municipal politician, you need both courage and you need fortitude and you need a sense of humor. And I hope we can reveal our senses of humor over the next 4 years. It is the epitome of a selfless vocation. You're here to serve others, and in this world, that's a remarkable accomplishment to put yourself out there and be here. So thank you, each of you, for doing that. And I think I speak for most on behalf of the community by thanking you for being here. So this ceremony and inaugural meetings goes back a long way in Smith Falls. As many of you may know, Smith Falls became an incorporated village in the year 1854. So before that, it was unincorporated. People kind of just, governed themselves. That didn't work. So it became a village, and in 1882, actually 1883, January 1st, 1883, the town became an incorporated town. And at that point, of course, it was represented by municipal politicians. Back then, the term of council was 1 year. So you really had to act quickly to get anything done. There wasn't social media back then, so you could probably get a lot done without a lot of distractions. But the point is, it was 1 year, and that stayed in place until 1980, actually. It was a 1-year term. Then it went to 2 year, then it went to 3 year, now we have a 4-year term. So what all that means is you are the 137th council for Smith Falls. Okay? So bear that in mind. Many have come before you, and each one, I think, came to start their career as a municipal politician with great intentions in mind, and I'm pretty confident the 7 people here have great intentions in mind. So for the next 4 years, once you're officially sworn in, you'll be representing the town. To put that in perspective for the families of members of council, that's 1,460 days that they'll be in office. So don't be intimidated by that. It'll go by very, very quickly. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Shane, and Shane is going to lead us through the swearing-in part of today's festivities. So Shane, over to you.
Thanks, Malcolm. So councillors have to be sworn in under Section 232 of the Municipal Act. Once you swear your oath as a councillor, you're legally entitled to take your seat as a councillor at future council meetings and boards to which you're appointed as a councillor. So it's an important step, and it's a legally required step in the process. We're We're going to proceed in the order that everyone's seated and start with a councillor who's done it before to show some experience. So Don Quinn is going to start with the first oath. So if I can just ask you to read the oath.
I, Don Quinn, have been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in the biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, thank you, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Do you swear that that's true?
That's true. That's true.
If I could just ask you. Thank you, Councillor Quinn. Jay Brennan.
I, Jay Brennan, having been elected and appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing it's of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
And do you so swear?
I do.
Thank you, Councillor Brennan. Councillor Miller.
I, Jennifer Miller, have been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
You so swear it's true?
I do.
Okay. Congratulations, Councillor Miller. Councillor McKenna.
I, Peter McKenna, having been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act, and I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
You swear that that's true?
I do.
Thank you. Councillor Stephen Robinson. I, Stephen Robinson, having been elected or appointed to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. You swear that that's true? I do. Great job. Councillor McGuire.
I, Christopher McGuire, having been elected to the office of councillor in the municipality of the town of Smith Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
You swear that this is true?
I do.
Thank you, Councillor McGuire. Mayor Sean Panko.
I, Sean Panko, having been elected or appointed to the office of mayor in the municipality of the town of Smiths Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is the same force and effect as if made under oath.
You swear that that's true?
I do swear.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. Now call upon Jill Turnbull to do blessings upon our newly sworn-in council.
Let us pray. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community, Spirit of justice, We ask your blessing on the people who have been called to lead the community in which we live and work and play. Help them as leaders to not ask first, how do we fix this, but what do we need to learn? How might we need to change? And to whom do we need to listen? Remind them, because we all forget from time to time, especially in the noisiness of what passes for political debate today, that they are not only leaders, but also servants, and that it is their responsibility and ours to serve the common good of all. Give Mayor Sean Panko and Councillors Jay Brennan, Jennifer Miller, Peter McKenna, Chris McGuire, Stephen Robinson, and Don Quinn capable assistance through the administration and staff serving Smiths Falls. May each one gladly contribute in any way, whether humble or significant. We pray for unity of purpose so that good strategies and plans may be implemented quickly. Bless the Smiths Falls Council as they meet and provide for and protect each member and their families in these days. Remind them that no matter where we live, everyone is our neighbor, our sibling, and that throughout the ages, prophets have called the leaders of the people to respect and protect the least of those among us, our children, the elderly, the poor, those who are hungry, those who have no place to call home, those who struggle with health in body, mind, or spirit, the strangers and immigrants in our midst, those who live on the margins, those who are alone, those who are forgotten. Grant them and us the wisdom and courage to know and do what is right and good and true. May they and we speak out when it is time to speak out, and listen patiently and receptively when it is time to listen. May they and we always be guided by the spirit of community, by the spirit of justice, and by the spirit of love. This we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, all that we hold good and right and true. May it be so. Amen.
Well, this is the first meeting of our new council. I'd like to welcome everyone for being here tonight. And I see family members, of course, the members of the council here. And no one up here does this job in isolation. And obviously, support our families which enable us to serve our community. I'm going to open the meeting with our land acknowledgement. On November 15, 2022, we acknowledge that the sacred land in which Smiths Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and is rich in Indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We are grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might meet here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smiths Falls. We are mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, and being mindful of generations to come. I call the meeting to order. I've got a few comments myself, and in a moment, through the report section of our agenda, if any member of council would like to make a few comments, we'll have that opportunity then. So a new term begins. For Councillor Brennan and I, this is our 4th consecutive inauguration day. Jay, it's been a pleasure serving our community with you over the past 12 years. I've always appreciated your keen eye on taxes and your commitment to the renewal of our key infrastructure. To Councillors McGuire and McKenna, I'm excited you're back to continue to build on the progress we've made collectively over the past 4 years. Chris, your commitment has helped lead to progress on numerous fronts. Your attention to detail has helped guide council to the best decisions, and your passion for heritage and community development will be a positive influence as we move forward. Peter, your wisdom and fortitude have been invaluable. Your strong social conscience and desire to support all members of our community have and will continue to make a difference. Your work at County Council helped to lead us to a stronger focus on affordable housing across Leonard County that will benefit numerous lower income families across our broader community. To Councillor Quinn, welcome back. After a 4-year hiatus, your willingness to resume your work on council is admirable. Of course, we know each other well after serving on council together from 2010 to 2018. And we're part of the team that helped to lay the foundation of asset management, planning, long-term financial planning that continues to serve our community well. Don, I know you're as committed to I am to move this community forward in numerous positive ways. And I'm excited to welcome new councillors Miller and Robinson. Your willingness to serve our community demonstrates your commitment to the people of Smiths Falls. Your successful election confirms that people of Smiths Falls agree they want you to represent them and help guide them and our community forward. Jennifer, I was fortunate to know you during your time at Big Brothers Big Sisters Leonard County. Your ability to grow the scope and impact of this organization over your tenure has made a deeply meaningful difference to hundreds of young people in our community. Your term as Manager of Economic Development for the town has provided you with a deep appreciation and understanding for the economic health of our community, and your drive to support and enable the success of our business community will be invaluable to your role in council. So will your strong social conscience. Stephen, I did not know you prior to this election. You impressed me during the all candidates meeting. Your sense of purpose and desire to serve your community will help lead to positive change you strive for. Your commitment to supporting our business community, our downtown, our tourism, and willingness to be a voice for all citizens will serve you well in your role in council. I'm excited to be back as mayor and look forward to working with this council to move our community ahead in a forward-thinking, responsible, and strategic manner. Our town has undergone incredible transformation in recent years, and council will be responsible for both enabling and managing growth effectively. While growth has meant a significant rise in local property values over the past 5 years, it also means living in Smiths Falls has become more expensive and more difficult for many of our lower income citizens. Our last council demonstrated its commitment to developing more attainable housing. I'm hopeful this council will also recognize as a critical role we all will play in ensuring our citizens are housed in homes they can afford. Our past council also demonstrated its willingness to support food security in our community, especially during the difficult days of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm optimistic this council recognizes that in one way or another, all our citizens contribute to our property tax revenue, and we need to ensure that we continue to play a role in combating food insecurity for our citizens. So in the coming weeks, this new council will work on our 2023-2026 strategic plan. This initiative has served our community very well over the past 8 years. And I look forward to embarking on this process and determining our longer-term vision and our shorter-term goals and objectives. The growth we've experienced in recent years has made a measurable difference in our ability to renew and revitalize our key infrastructure in a financially responsible manner. It's also enabled councils to enhance the quality of life in our town and to provide what I believe is great value for our taxpayers. Although I don't expect we will face a global pandemic over this term of council, I do expect we will face headwinds and challenges that we cannot even contemplate today. As we have in the past, we will be prepared for what comes, and council and the town will be prepared to adapt and evolve as needed. From CAO Morris to our directors and all town staff, our community is fortunate to have an incredible lineup of municipal staff. As Malcolm would say, council sets a destination, charts the course forward, council steers a boat, and staff do the rowing in all conditions and at all times of the year. The town has progressed in so many positive ways in recent years, and much of the credit for this should be attributed to the great work of our staff. While inauguration is a great time to look where we have been, it's more importantly an opportunity to imagine where we can be and what life can look like in Smiths Falls in the future. On a personal note, I wanted to express my deepest gratitude to my family for their support and encouragement, especially over these past 12 years on council. To my parents, Jim and Gail, who are here tonight, thank you for being my first teachers and mentors. You taught me right from wrong, always encouraged me to stand up for what I believe in, and motivated me to follow my dreams. I'm forever grateful for having such incredible and supportive parents. To my siblings, Chris and Shelley's here today, and their families, thank you for always being there for me, for encouraging me, for fighting for me, and for being my biggest supporters. And to Tracy and our children, your love, support, and patience, and understanding, especially understanding and patience, I guess, have enabled me to continue on this journey of public service. When I ran for council in 2010, we had 4 teenagers, and our 3 youngest were 4, 2, and 1. Looking back, I even wonder what was I thinking when I decided to run for public office with a family like that. Fortunately, though, it was Tracy's suggestion and her support and role as campaign manager that enabled me to do so successfully. 12 years later, after somewhere around 600 meetings of council, several thousand additional meetings, here we go again. And as you can see, my youngest children are no longer so young or so little. As we embark on the next term, I promise my family I'll be home more, I'll do a better job at managing my time and my responsibilities there. It's on the record. I'm blessed to have the love and support of my family and would never have been able to serve my community without it. Thank you. I love you all. So with that, we will move on through our agenda. It's a very brief agenda this evening. I will ask for disclosure of monetary interest. Obviously, I see none. We have no delegations. We have no adoption of minutes. So reports. I'll start to my far right with the longest serving member of council overall. I think 15 years thus far, Councillor Quinn.
Thank you. Nothing to report tonight other than the fact I'm very happy to be back here. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years of working with this council and the staff. And yes, we do have wonderful staff that support us all the time and are always there to listen, even when we do become a bit of a pain sometimes. And I know I do that. But I'm so happy to be back here. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Don. And just for the understanding, this is a regular council agenda. So reports, members of council would generally talk about meetings they've attended, committees they've been involved in, and bring those reports so the rest of council could have understanding. For tonight, though, we're just opening it up to what anyone wants to share or talk about. Go ahead, Councillor Brennan.
Thank you. I did have sort of a traditional report, and I had more, but I think I think I'll do this one because I want to report that on November 5th, you and I and now Councillor Miller attended the Joyce Brennan Awards for the Smith Falls District Arts and Culture Council, and the award this year, it's been a couple of years since they've been able to have this award, and of course it's named after my mother. I'm very honored for that, but I want to report that I'm so proud and happy to say that our former colleague Lorraine Allen was the recipient of that award. It was well attended, and I think that the Arts and Culture Council has grown leaps and bounds since I've been around, and they're a driving force and a really important stakeholder. So I just want to report on that one. I had other ones, but I'll save that for another time. But I want to say that, of course, this is my first rodeo, and you know, the first time I was so excited and nervous and happy, and you know, this is the 4th time, and I feel the same way. And I think that, I'm so happy to be among this group. I think the town is going in a tremendous direction, and I can't wait for the next 4 years. I'm still enthused, and I can't wait to continue working for 4 years with these people. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Councillor Brennan. New Councillor Miller.
Thank you. So I did attend the Joyce Brennan dinner as well, not in an official capacity, but I certainly was glad to be there, and I was quite humbled and honored to present the Chantal Lebrun Photography Award posthumously to her family, and that was a real honor and a difficult task, really. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the residents of Smiths Falls for giving me the honor of representing them around this horseshoe. Look forward to working with council and with the mayor to move the agenda forward and to continue to build on the growth of this amazing, beautiful town of Smiths Falls. And I'd just like to thank my partner Dan, who put up endless signs, managed the finances, cleaned the house, cooked the dinners, and carried on the world so I could follow this dream. And to my parents who are here tonight, who were also on the sign brigade, it was not the easiest task, but they stuck with it. To my daughter Catherine, as well as to my friend Amy Hogue, who taught me a thing or two about running an election, obviously quite successfully. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I know Dan's ready for the next 4 years as well. Yeah, I'm going to start with Councillor McGuire and then come back to the middle.
I thought I didn't realize we're going to skip here. I don't have any reports tonight. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out. This is the first time we've had a meeting with an audience in years, so it's so nice to see people out there, especially the debate too, all through the election. Thank you for the trust the people of Smith Falls have put in us, and I know we're going to work hard, so thank you.
My turn? Stephen? I'd just like to say thank you to the people of Smiths Falls for electing me. And I'm looking forward to working with the current council. I think we've got a good mix of people here. And lastly, my wife's going to be happy because I'm going to be out of the house a lot more. So you won't have to put up with me, darling.
And Councillor McKenna.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, you're eloquent as ever, and start with thanking you for your service over the last number of years. It was a pleasure working with you as the mayor. You do our town honor when you represent us not only here but throughout Ontario. So thank you for your leadership. Thanks to the people of Smiths Falls, to my family, of course. I am working tonight. We're on the job. I am the vice chair of our local public health unit. Masks are not mandatory. They're encouraged. We're heading into a really odd winter, and I encourage you to take good care of yourself, protect those who are most vulnerable around us, and if you feel so inclined, start keeping a mask handy. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. You want to hang on to the mic, Councillor McKenna, because I think you have our first bylaw and only bylaw.
I do. It's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Miller. First time I've said that, so that's great. As per Bill 187 and Bylaw 10132-2020, which permits electronic participation in board committee meetings, signatures will be obtained for the appropriate parties at a later date. This is all about appointing acting mayor. So it's moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Miller, that a bylaw to appoint an acting mayor for each month of the current term of council be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. It's moved by Councillor McKenna and seconded by Councillor Miller that a bylaw to appoint an acting mayor for each month of the current term of council be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Further discussion, Councillor McKenna?
Yes, this is standard procedure for our community. This bylaw will empower, when either the mayor is out of town or unable to attend an event for that particular month, one of us will take, and it's done in alphabetical order, one of us will take a turn for that month. And we will also chair the committee of the whole meetings throughout the 4 years. So it's this bylaw actually empowers the municipality to appoint these acting mayors.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, may I have a third reading, please?
Again, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Miller, that a bylaw to appoint an acting mayor for each month of the current term of council be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10396-2022.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor McKenna and seconded by Councillor Miller that a bylaw to appoint an acting mayor for each month of the current term of council be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10396-2022. All in favor? That's carried. Bless you. Any inquiries or announcements beyond what we've mentioned already? No? Okay, we're going to move right to adjournment with Councillor Brennan.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Robinson. Glad to say that for the first time. That this council adjourns proceedings at 6:35 and stands so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council, and that would be 5:35.
Thank you. It's moved by Councillor Brennan and seconded by Councillor Robinson. This council adjourns proceedings at 5:30 p.m. and stands so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
You know that.